here, but do you think stunts has changed from really well-rounded jack of all trades, kind of crazy cowboys, to people that hyper specialize in certain aspects? And we kind of touched on this briefly. I know you said fighting and falling is like the benchmark, and less so with a lot of other things. But do you think being a jack of all trades is the most beneficial, or should you hyper specialize in fighting and falling? And I know you said also that, you know, horse guys only work for horse stuff, so on and so forth. I wonder if, like, I know some car guys that'll do like car movies, and they just do all the car movies all over the world. And, you know, we were talking about Fire for Hire as a company in Canada, and I imagine they just do fire burns all over Canada. So if somebody was trying to get into stunts right now, I guess what would you recommend for them?
Well, I think that if somebody's trying to get in, I think that they should study collect as many physical skills as they can. They're going to discover whether or not they're going to specialize.
Right.
Unless you come into it as a martial artist and a gymnast, then you specialize in your movement, like you said. And you're being hired to do that. And that's wonderful. It's awesome if you can make a career doing that. The average stunt performer may not maintain the skill you do in your martial arts and your gymnastics to specialize. So they're going to have other skills in order to get hired. Andrew mentioned it a little earlier. I have a thing that I say to young people that ask me to become stunt performers. And I said, I'm going to ask you a question. And if you can answer this question, I'll hire you tomorrow. And that is, what physical skill can you bring to my game that 100 of my very best friends, people who I love and adore, can't do and haven't already done in 1,000 films and on television? That's what you're up against. When you're dealing with a coordinator and you're new, that's what you're up against. Because I'm going to hire guys I trust. If I'm spending $250,000 today on a stunt, camera crew, craft service.
Yeah, better fucking work the first time.
Yeah. And this stunt is hinging on you as a performer?
Yeah.
Why? Why in the hell would I ever hire you? I'm going to hire the guy that has done it for me 27 times.
Yeah, of course, which, as you should.
And that's how hard it is. And that goes back to what Andrew says. The only physical that you can bring to me is your face. And if your face is not in my book, I'm not doing my job. Because I need my director to see your face.
Right.
So that said, having a multitude of skills,
it helps.
It absolutely helps, especially in, say, a Toronto situation, because as you mentioned on your movie, they let you go.
Yeah.
But then when they found out there was no one else that could fill your spot, they had to call you back and teach you whatever you needed to know. There's only at most 600 stunt performers in the city of Toronto. And I bet half of them don't work full time.
Yeah.
They have other jobs and do their thing, right?
Yeah, it's pretty common.
So in order to get work, they might have to do 5 or 7 or 8 or 10 things.
You're right. I hadn't considered it through the lens of...
Because if they want to make a living...
needing to be able to do everything because that's the only option.
Right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And the thing, too, is what's fun is I've never coordinated a Marvel movie, although I am available. I've never needed in my entire career as a stunt coordinator a world champion at anything.
Yeah.
Believe me, I've worked with world champions at things, but I've never needed them. I need you to be as good as I need you to be, and to be safe and get the job done. Some things I needed greater skill than others, but overall, you don't have to be the best in the world at anything to work in this industry. But you must level up. And I mentioned this earlier as well.
There's like a baseline.
There's a baseline. Absolutely. That said, there's a baseline. And if you can reach that line, you're getting work.
Yeah.
But I defy you to take your resume after that baseline and go into a larger pond and see if you can get work. Because there are people like you who train daily because this is your job. And I defy them to get work. I defy anybody to take work away from you based on their base level.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the Toronto mentality as well, where they get to this certain point, and if they're working, they don't necessarily need to train more. But if you look at some of the talent coming out of Atlanta and LA and New York and London and even France, like there's some really, really talented stunt guys that would be very, very competitive on the world stage. And in Canada, we have a small layer of that at the top, but we don't have a lot of depth. Like if you need to hire 20 performers, you might get 3 really great performers and 17 people that are just filling a slot. And I would love to see Toronto level up and be like super competitive, where you can hire 20 guys that are all absolute killers.
100%.
Yeah.
See, I think a lot of guys end up like you, or Mish or somebody, and they're flying away.
Yeah.
They're going to where the work is and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, Canada doesn't have a very strong budget for the entertainment industry in general. So it's hard for stunt guys or anybody in this country to level up when, if they do level up, they level up and move to Portugal.
Yeah, but there's work here. So I don't necessarily know that there's an excuse not to level up, because there's work here.
I do agree.
And there's guys abroad that are not working that are more talented, especially in Atlanta, especially in France right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I agree with what you're saying, but if a film's coming, if the production's coming from LA, the production is still based in LA. So your leads are LA, your heavy hitters are LA. Most of the bigger parts, acting wise, are in LA, and stunt guys come from LA with those actors.
Is that really common? I find when we film stuff in Canada, from my experience from my earlier days when we did some films here, the US teams were usually like 3, 4, 5 guys, and then everyone else was locals.
They're getting bigger. They're getting bigger.
They are, okay.
For sure.
Interesting. Do you think they're trying to push for more because they don't see the talent here? Or do you think they're just trying to be a nepotist for their own people?
Both.
I think it's
okay.
a bit of both.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
I do think that, if you're coming from LA and this isn't your home and you don't have any friends and you're here for 6, 7 months, it's ideal for you to bring your guys.
Yeah.
It's
and that goes
more
back
comfortable.
to the trust thing as well, of course.
Yeah, it's comfortable and all that stuff. It may not necessarily jive, but it may jive as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What's interesting is that a big production will have an American stunt coordinator come up.
Sure.
The American stunt coordinator may even bring an American stunt coordinator assistant. But by our union rules, they have to have a Canadian match. So you have an American stunt coordinator come in. Big name, little name, no name, I don't care. That person is now matched with someone, whether they know this person or they just meet this person and say, okay, you're now my Canadian match. Then the Canadian match, because he knows the talent in the area, hires the talent in the area. Then they have a fight rehearsal.
Sure.
And the Canadian match might bring in a fight director, a fight coordinator, or have another assistant, and they all work together on the fight. Tell me what the American coordinator's doing.
I mean, I imagine going to the meetings and...
I would hope.
Yeah.
I have been on a number of shows performing in the last few years, and the American coordinator is non-existent.
Oh, interesting.
But they're there. Their name is there.
Right.
They're on record.
Yeah.
But everything that I've done is I've either created the fight or I've participated with my Canadian match to create whatever it is we need to do.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I find it fascinating.
Yeah. Interesting.
And oftentimes, I think the American guys, they're working at the top with some of the leads and all that,
Of course, yeah.
But
Directly.
when you bring this big beautiful production called Reacher to Canada, but you bring this giant man who stars in it, you need a specialized character such as yourself. You are limited to who you can hire.
For sure.
And that also limits skill and other things like that. So you have to look worldwide.
Yeah.
they're bringing in guys from Australia or
Luke
whatever,
Davis.
right? Yeah, Luke, and he's a
Funny
great
enough,
dude. But
he's wicked awesome. I've doubled with him on 3 other projects. I doubled with him on Superman and Halo, and one more that's escaping me right now. But yeah, he's wicked cool to work with as well.
yeah, he's cool.
Good dude. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
But
when it comes to
you have to do it.
that, really shows, because those projects were all in different continents, and
But
it's the same guys doubling, because even in the world, the talent pool for 6'3" guys it's small, man.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
But that's a double,
Yes.
and I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
You find who you need, where they are, and bring them in. So you're getting work, not only because of your size, but because of your skill as a filmmaker. You understand camera. You understand that stuff. That's what you need to. And as a coordinator, if you're stepping into the coordinating job, it has nothing to do with being 6'3" and 225
Certainly.
pounds.
Yeah.
It has to do with all the experience that you've learned over this time. So I find it fascinating that when a Canadian stunt coordinator or whomever hires an American fight coordinator
Yeah.
to teach in Toronto, why isn't that skill is maintained by many in this country?
The
Just by
fight coordinator, or
yes,
performing as a fight
just
fighter.
the fighting skills,
Yes.
the directing skills, the coordinating skills, all that stuff
Yeah.
exists here.
We certainly don't lack great coordinators in Canada or in Toronto. We have
Exactly.
lots of wonderful coordinators. You're
Exactly.
absolutely right. Yeah.
But by virtue of being an American citizen does not make you better.
No.
And what I find fascinating is how many Americans are being brought in to do the job when in fact Canadians can do the job.
Yeah, interesting. Do you think a lot of that is because they're building their team in the U.S. before they even know where they're shooting? So before they even know
It's entirely
in
possible.
Canada,
That's what I
the
think.
coordinator's already attached to the
It's
project.
entirely possible.
Yeah, and then that coordinator, by part of being attached to the project, already has his team in order as well.
Right.
So by the time they know where they're filming, those guys are already going.
Well, so
Yeah.
it also, it's interesting because if I'm a director or I'm a producer and I happen to have a friend
Yeah.
who I've worked with many times, I'm comfortable and I understand. So that I get. That goes back to what I said earlier.
Exactly.
I hire people I know and I've worked with before, rather than give a chance for somebody that I don't know to fuck up $1 million shot.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more likely that, and maybe a bit of optics too. I mean, if you hire somebody who's done some really hot shows as your stunt coordinator, it doesn't, I've seen Americans that have come here and they really, I'm sitting here going, what? Oh man, I know a lot of guys here that know way more than this guy,
Yeah.
Or this gal or whoever. And you kind of go, oh, okay, but they did all the fight work on that crazy shit.
Right.
Yeah, but
they did the,
What's interesting about that is where did that optics take it? I've never, other than Hal Needham, I've never gone to a movie in my life because of a stuntman was in it.
Well, but
or a stunt coordinator
Right.
did it.
You could be right, but I think nowadays stunts is kind of finding a new light, and some of these things are being presented in interviews and in shows. I mean, fuck, I could be wrong, but
No, I hear what you're saying.
You
in the sense that it's more forefront and less deep background now.
yeah,
like they talk about it now.
I think it
exists.
looks good on the bill.
Yeah,
If you spend a lot of money on that coordinator and their
sure.
whole team and all this stuff, you're just like, oh, that movie was.
And there's
it cost this much money.
There's a desire for people to see real action nowadays, as opposed to CG. CG is wonderful, but people want to know that it happened for real.
Well, that's a pendulum
yeah.
I hope swings back.
Yes.
Me too.
all
me
the
too.
way.
Yes.
I will say, doing Matchbox and Extraction with Sam Hargrave, everything is real. Obviously, there's CG to augment stuff, but all the stuff you see on camera, helicopters, on trains, all that really fucking happened.